Broadcasting from Watts Creative Studios and live on Grove Street FM. You're listening to Talk Local to Me, brought to you by the Central Virginia Business Coalition.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Talk Local to Me. I'm Heather Alto with the Central Virginia Business Coalition, and I am here today with Autumn Myers, our programs director.
Hello.
Hello. And Karen Brooks with Damsel in Defense, and we're going to be speaking with her a little bit this first part of the show. How are you?
Hello. I'm good.
Okay, quick question, Woody. Quick question.
Yes.
All right.
Yes,
So apparently there are cameras on me today.
Yes.
So people can actually see us.
Cameras everywhere in the building.
So what I need to know is, let's say somebody's listening live right now. How can they stream us? How can they see what we're doing? I need to know.
There's so many ways. Okay. So the best way is to download the brand new smartphone app, Grove Street FM. It's our new mobile app, Android and iPhones. It's available now.
Okay.
You can listen to all the podcasts in the app. You don't even need to get out of the app and subscribe. You can listen to all the episodes in there, audio, and watch video live. So if we are broadcasting live video, you just go to the video tab, click it, you can watch or you can listen, whichever one you want to do.
And that's Grove Street FM. There's no Grove Street
it's
FM.
Grove Street FM in any app store, or you can go to our website and look at the links. But yeah, just go to your app store real quick, download the app, and you'll be right there.
And I was looking, so I think I saw somewhere on Facebook, and Chris was doing a good job telling people, supposedly your app is looking suspicious.
Oh, all right. So
why are you suspicious? That's what I want to know. Why we got people?
I'm so glad you brought that. Okay. So occasionally on Android, right? So what people don't know is when you do an app, there is a strenuous system to get these apps into the app store. Okay. So for one, Apple is they're just insanely strict. Android, on Android devices, occasionally people install antivirus things on their phones. And if any app asks for your, to access your location or anything like that, it'll throw up a red flag. But the only reason that it even asks for that, it's not necessary, but it asks for that because of push notifications. So we can, when I send out a notification, if we want to just isolate it to Bedford, we just select, hey, send this notification to all our users in Bedford. Or send this to all. That's the only reason. It's a false positive, basically. So there's nothing suspicious. I promise. I swear to you.
So if you're listening in and you decide, okay, we're gonna download this app and we're gonna start streaming Talk Local to Me, and you get a suspicious activity, it's not. I mean, Woody could be suspicious, but he's not.
That's separate from the Woody.
That's when you have Bigfoot walking around.
That's when you got big. No, but it is absolutely safe. You could there's nothing wrong with it. But you can listen, watch, and it's got our schedule in there. Everything it's just the best hub for everything.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Well, if you're listening, go ahead, download it.
Download it. Safe. Chris said it was safe.
I did not do my hair today, so if y'all see me, I don't know which camera you might be looking at, but hey, my hair is a little bit of a mess today. But so before we kind of get into the main part of the show, I want to talk about a couple things. October. It's already October. Halloween's coming up. First of all, for those of you who don't know, Halloween's on the 31st. I keep seeing people asking about when people are celebrating Halloween. Hello, people. It is on the 31st every year, all year. I mean, forever. It's on the 31st. So you're trick-or-treating on the 31st. Now, there are plenty of trunk or treats out there. And I've already got a lot on my calendar because I love taking my little one to the different trunk or treats. But your normal door-to-door trick-or-treating is still happening on the 31st. So I just thought I'd put that out there for anyone who was confused. And then I wanted to say this month is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So for women, definitely go check out, call the mammography. What is it? Centra has one, right? The mammography clinic. You can go in and get your screenings. Yes. I know Arthur's Jewelry here in the town of Bedford. They do, what is it? A pearl they give to each woman who goes in and gets their screening done each year. You get a pearl.
I believe it. Yeah. I believe so.
That's pretty cool. And then another thing I want to bring up is this week particularly is an important week for me that I want to push out there. And that is Autumn looks confused. Fire Prevention and Safety Week. And this month, it's Fire Prevention and Safety Week. And as many of you guys know, I lost my brother in a house fire 2 years ago. And so if anything I can do to honor his memory and keep pushing that forward is to tell people to please check your smoke detectors, make sure you have your fire extinguishers, check with your local fire departments in our area, and just make sure you've got, proper exits and you know what you're doing should something happen. Because if, you can save one life after one's lost, that's, important. So putting that out there. And I feel like there's other things. Oh, Big Otter Mill Festival is this weekend, if I'm not correct. Correct. Big Otter Mill. I look over at Chris Morris. He's here over there. And I always look at him when I'm doing dates because he seems to know what's happening. So I'm always like, am I right? Before I put it. So Big Otter Mill Festival, Vintage Market, Mountain View Vintage Market.
This
weekend.
The Amherst Apple Festival is this weekend.
Amherst Apple Festival. Anything else? I feel like there's probably lots of stuff. This month is always like crammed with fun things to do. Festivals, events. Take your kids out, take your family out and do something fun. Don't just sit at home.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I got to say. Don't sit at home. Sitting at home is boring. And I'm, as most of y'all know, I hate to sit at home. I'm always on the go. But get out and support local. Lots of local vendors, crafters, artisans, local nonprofits that are hosting some of these events that need your help. So get out and do some early Christmas shopping. And then, as most of you heard last episode, and we announced on the Facebook page this week, we have got the keys to our second office location here in Bedford. There's not anything in it but like a table. So we're moving in. I'm getting ready to take Woody's table, hopefully.
It's been claimed by 6 people already.
Take this table with me today and make it
we
my
might be able to work
table.
out something. Yeah, because
headphones and all. I'm just take the whole setup.
That's right. We have another upgrade on the way, so it's
Let me talk local to me over at the Berks Hill Road location. But no, we're excited we're going to be working in the next few weeks to hopefully have an open house sometime the first week in November and have people kind of come over and see the new space and get your business cards up, get your brochures in there, and get people, finding out what's awesome here in the town of Bedford. So with that being said, going back to suspiciousness, I want to talk to Karen Brooks with Damsel in Defense, because you have products that can help people when you see those like suspicious people around and all those things.
That was good.
I know. See, I'm good at the tie-in. I try and work real hard on that. So
you see Woody around.
You just see Woody.
Yeah.
Break out that
everybody
taser.
sees me now. They're like, wait, is that guy they were talking about? Great. Time about going to the BP station, I'll get the side eye.
That's the guy with the Grove Street app.
That's the guy. He wants my email address.
Anyway, so Karen, first of all, tell us as a whole about Damsel in Defense. Like, what is it? For those who may not have heard of the,
Gotcha. So, Woody, listen up. So,
yes.
Damsel was created in 2011, and its mission is to equip, empower, and educate women to protect themselves and their family. Actually, 2015, the Damsel House Project began because human sex trafficking is really the core of their mission too. So as of right now, I think there's been funded 1,000 rescues of girls from sex trafficking. So it's all tied in.
Mm-hmm. And I know that. So I have some of your products. And I think I told you before. And mine is not. I don't have the stun gun. I have what is the thing that because I'm terrified of being trapped in a car underwater.
Oh, okay. So you have the road trip.
I do have the road trip thing in my glove compartment. And if I go anywhere, if I change cars, like if I'm going on a trip and I know I'm going across a bridge, that thing, I know where that is at all times. And you laugh, but I'm terrified.
Oh no, I have to roll the windows down. Like my husband knows. He's prepared.
I'm scared of heights and bridges.
Well, I don't know about the heights when it could help you, but it could help you on the bridge.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's my thing is like, I'm worried about just one day. And I know it's, not very common, but like if you're going over, I'm just worried I'm just going to fall off the side of a bridge in my car. I don't know why, but like I'm
just going to be driving, the whole car's going to tip over.
But most of the things though, I think Damsel in Defense, you look at, y'all have the different, the pepper sprays and the stun guns and things like that.
Right.
Can you tell us, like, what are some of your best sellers? Like, what are some of the things that you really, see people wanting when they
So it depends. Matter of fact, yesterday I did a little presentation, and the women in that little group were like 70 to 84 years old. So their security and their safety needs are different than maybe what yours or mine would be. I think probably pepper spray and ours are different. There's your standard one all the way up to, I don't know when you got your products, but Damsel now has 2 products, one being a pepper spray and one being an alarm that has GPS and Bluetooth technology, which if you activate them, someone in your app, speaking of apps, not suspicious, but in your app, a text message goes out and it says, Heather has activated her alarm and here's where she is.
Oh, I love that.
So so when I'm in trouble, I want someone to know, and I want them to know exactly where I am so they can call the police and tell them where I am. So so pepper sprays have evolved greatly. But yes, I actually brought you one today. So I know. I'll give it to you. It's a little jeweled one. So there's one for everybody.
So I haven't had, so it's been a very long time since I've gotten any. I've had that, the what is it called again?
The road trip.
The road trip, yeah. I've had that for a long time. And honestly, I've been scared to, use something with like the stun, because you hear it, it's like, oh, it does. It scares me.
It does.
But I do have one, not from Dan. I think my dad got it for me a long time ago. I'm not even sure if it works. He got you one too, didn't he?
Yeah. Pretty sure he got it from a yard sale.
I don't know. Oh, yeah, we don't.
But my husband's always wanting to use it.
But, I look at, I've seen a lot of, I follow a lot of the Facebook groups. And I constantly see women, especially in the Lynchburg area, that are putting up things that they have found suspicious, whether they're at Walmarts or Targets. They've seen people following them or, standing at their vehicles and things like that. And I actually got really angry. It's probably 2 or 3 weeks ago. And I say this, and this is not for all men. Okay, Woody, it's not at you. Chris, you're cool. But there was a guy who got on the post, and he was basically like, y'all need to quit whining. Not every person is there to, it's not suspicious. It's, whatever, you need to quit whining about it. And I kind of got really angry. And by the time I put up a strongly worded text on that thread, and by the time I did, he must have gotten enough. He took it down himself because it wouldn't let me post it to it. But basically I was like, you tell that to the parents of like, Morgan Harrington and Alexis Murphy and all these women that have come across someone that maybe if they'd had protection or they'd had something with them or, it could have saved a life. And you just never know.
Well, you're absolutely right, especially in I'm sorry, I can't remember her name, the jogger very recently in Tennessee.
Yes.
And so, and you bring up such an amazing point because some of that post, I think it goes back to maybe women's intuition, which is a gift. It's different than the very first thing. I mean, all these products are great. They help level the playing field. But what I teach first and foremost, your first and best line of defense is situational awareness.
Right.
And so and that's a skill that has to be learned, just like, stop, drop, and roll, look both ways. It has to be learned. But once you learn it, you can make a plan. And that's what I find across the board for all demographics. We have a plan for our wedding. We have a plan for our business, our education, our retirement, even our end of life. But we don't have a safety plan. So you have to have a plan. Now,
do you teach situational awareness classes?
I do. I teach part of the situational awareness that I teach is called OODA loop, which is kind of fun to say, OODA loop. So observe, orient, decide, and then act. And then the loop is the repetitiveness that brings you muscle memory, right? So that you remember it. So I do teach that. And so, so that along with just scanning your environment. I know the text, the post, I think I read the same one. And there was a lot of legitimacy, it seemed like, because they gave a lot of details. And so people were paying attention. If you can remember post 9/11 and things like that, everyone had a heightened sense of awareness. But now, we got earbuds, we got phones, we got so much going around, right? You make a plan. And once you have a plan and you act on it, you're halfway there.
Yeah. And I think sometimes when you're coming out of the grocery store, if you're late, you have all these bags on your arms or whatever, you're not paying any attention to who's beside your car. You're tired. You're ready to get to the car, pop the trunk, throw everything in, and then just, I don't know about y'all, but sometimes I just sit in there and go, okay, okay, great. I made it. And you're just not paying attention to, who has done what, or like you've seen the ones where people put something on your windshield so that you have to get back out of the vehicle to remove it. And that's when, somebody's there. So I think, like you said, having a plan for things like that and not getting caught up in just
Well,
life and actually paying attention to what's happening around you is so important.
Well, it's funny you brought up the bag. That's probably my weakness. I'm very much situational awareness oriented, but I have to, when I come from the grocery, I don't know what it is about women. We have to go just one trip, so I look like a donkey just loaded down when I get, and that makes me a target. So I've had to really pay attention to change that. But you're right. So the situational awareness, like if you're going from a store to your car, typically we go vertically. We go from our car to the store. So if someone's coming horizontally across the parking lot to me, that's the first thing I'm going to look at. And I'm not going to look at them. I'm going to look behind them. Is anyone in the car? Is someone with them? Same way we take our kids or dogs to the park. So if you come up and talk to me, number one, what am I looking for? Do you have a kid or a dog with you? If you don't, right? So there's lots of things that if we just tell our mind, and there's lots of different things that I teach, that sometimes you have to actually teach yourself to pay attention, because as women, this is true, but as women, right, we've been taught, don't use your big voice. We teach our children, say hi to strangers. I just don't know. We're just not in that world today.
Right. And I would think too, also for young college, we have quite a few colleges right around here, Sweetbriar and Liberty and, University of Lynchburg and for those college, young college girls that are on campus. And I say girls, I mean, I'm sure there are men that need this as just as much as women, but of course, young women, I feel like this is what it really focuses to, but it's something they definitely need to have as well, because I think you get caught up in the college life and, you're on campus, and sometimes campus is really, you feel cozy on campus. You've got the security phones everywhere and things like that, but there are people everywhere.
Well, and, also just to mention, October is also Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So when you talk about these college-age girls that are just, so women across the board, 1 in 5 will be attacked, which is up from 1 in 6 2 years ago. So things aren't getting better. That's sad. But college-age girls are 4 times more likely to be attacked, and 58% someone they know. So like you said, they feel cozy, or they feel like, right, these are my people. Well, you just got to protect yourself. You got to be able to rely on your own tribe and your own self, not just your people.
And I know when it hits home, and I've already brought up, like, I go to Charlottesville quite a bit. Huge UVA fan, so I'm up there. So the whole thing with Morgan Harrington, and it was Hannah, I'm trying to remember her last name, but and then Alexis, that one really hit home because Autumn, she played volleyball. She was in high school the same time Alexis was. And I remember going to...
We played Nelson County.
Yeah, we played Nelson County. And I remember going to that game and seeing the empty chair with her jersey draped over it. And, having a young child the same age, it really, it makes you think, like, how are her parents even, making it through all of this? And, what are steps that can be done to protect my child so I don't have to go through something like this?
Well, again, it's having a plan. And like we're talking right now about young girls, and hey, when I was a young girl, if you're a Yellowstone fan, I had a little Beth Dutton in me. You know what I mean? I would go for it. But that's what I really get across to these women who are in college in this age is just have a plan and don't stay in the fight. There's nothing, don't stay in the fight. I want to prevent it and I want to get out of there. And so my backup, even to my own daughter, who is everything's unicorns and rainbows to her. So, and she'll say, I don't really need the pepper spray, Mom. And I'm like, well, what's your plan? What's your plan? If something happens. So, and that is the thing, something happened that and you got to remember PC, privacy and control. If they get you in the car, then they've got control. And I think about the lady in Tennessee, because they obviously got her in the car, and there's things specifically that I teach to not let you get in that position. But yeah, these young girls, they just, nothing's ever, and the biggest thing is a bias, which means nothing's ever happened before, or everything's going to be okay, right? Because we want to think that.
Right. So when you're teaching situational awareness, what are some of the things you tell people to look out for? Like, what are some of those top things? I know you were just kind of talking about the way they're approaching you.
Right. So the kind of the OODA loop thing means observe. So I want you to observe their environment, right? And that can be a lot of things. I'm also a full-time realtor. So I look at, are they got out-of-state tags? There's lots of little things to observe their environment. First of all, you got to establish wherever you are is who you're coming in contact with. Is that your baseline for normal, right? Because we all would have a normal, what we consider normal. And then you're going to orient yourself. So you got to scan your own environment. Like, do I have on high heels? These are things within seconds you're going to go through. Orient, where's the exit? Where's the entrance? Is there someone there? What tools do I have on me? So I'm scanning their environment. I'm orienting myself. How far am I from the car? So now all of these things help me make a decision. And that's the thing. You've got to have a plan. But all of those go in for it. Scan their environment, scan your environment, decide, okay, like you said about the stun gun, right? So if he's coming across the parking lot, my plan is I'm going to go off a warning shot, right? That's my plan. If he keeps coming, then I'm going to use my big voice. And I tell people, we're kind of desensitized to car alarms. We're desensitized if I heard somebody say no, in a loud voice, I might think they're arguing. But if he says to me, hey, could you give me a ride to the store? I'm going to yell, no, I won't give you a ride to the store. So I'm going to repeat back. So in a parking lot, people are going to look at that a little bit differently than they would me just saying, yeah. So those are just some examples.
I think it's funny you bring up the car alarm piece of it because you're right. I think originally you had that because my keys have that hold button that'll send my alarm off.
Right.
But you're right. Nowadays, I hear a car alarm and all I think is, oh my God, somebody shut that thing off.
Exactly.
And I don't even think about, is it somebody in need of something?
Yeah. Right.
So I'm going to have to think more about that when I hear,
so
car
there's
alarm.
overtime alarm. And then the other big thing is lots of people have something and, there's no one who is going to attack you, who's going to give you 10 seconds to go through your purse and find your thing. They're just, they're nice people maybe, but they're not going to do that. And the big thing is assailants, perpetrators, they don't have a backup plan. That's the thing is they want a weak target. They want someone who's easy, someone who, I tell people just lift your breastbone when you walk. And even if there's this little checkoff sheet to go like through the parking lot, wherever you're walking alone, any situation. All right, well, here's my safety checklist. Let me do it for 5 minutes, 5 minutes. But if you're a runner and we live in an area, people run, they hike. Again, I tell my daughter this all the time. If you're walking in a place and you don't see anybody for 5 minutes, a perpetrator knows that same thing. There's no one there. There's no one walking there. So you just have to be mindful of how they think and how you think.
Now, if someone is interested in, signing up for the situational awareness, how do they get a hold of you or where do you teach those classes?
It's funny that you said you're always on the go. So you can get me on Facebook at Damsel on the Go. And also I have a webpage, www.stungun21.com. But I'm also going to be at a couple of festivals. There's one next weekend locally here on Leesville Road, the United Methodist Church. They have a little festival. And then the big Christmas on the Farm in Amherst, November 5th and 6th. I'll be there too. But lots of church groups, anyone, you can call me too. If I could remember my phone number, 710-0327. I'm happy to meet in groups, one-on-one, whatever. It's like the starfish. If I can help one woman, it's worth it.
Well, I know one of the things, we host, I think that's where we almost first, our Empower event that we did last year is one of the first places that we met.
And you're busy.
And
I was like, Heather.
Yeah. But what I'm hoping to do, and this may be a great thing, is I'm trying to actually start monthly women's programs that lead up to Empower. So, something kind of for the mind, body, the soul, kind of different things like that. So, having one where we could have some of our women members come and do that situational awareness would be great.
That's a fabulous idea leading up to the Empower. That's such,
Yeah, so that's what I'm hoping to start working on for 2023 and making it like a year-long thing that we do for women. But I think that would be good. You all right over there?
I'm good.
See, we got these big microphones. They are
hitting my head on it.
Back my head on it, everything. But are there any other like products that you have that maybe people don't realize? Damsel in Defense. I know people think of the pepper sprays and the tasers. Do you do the things for the schools, for the doors, where
yes, we have that as well.
Okay.
There's a lot. You're pretty spot on. There's a lot of great products. Ours are set aside a little bit different, like our pepper spray, and here's yours. Our pepper spray is so there's things called capsaicinoids, and that's what makes them hot. So just to give a little bit of a thing, all of our pepper sprays shoot 16 feet. They all have a UV dye. So if I spray you and then you go home and take a shower, even after 7 days, a black light will show it was you that attacked me. And the heat. So there's They're hotter than, if you look at a habanero pepper, which is 150 to 350,000 on the units, Scoville heat units. Our pepper spray is 2 million. And we have things like disable pins. So yeah, pepper sprays, there's a lot of them available, but they're not all the same. We have stun guns, we have alarms, we have a whole line just for children called Safe Hearts. We have concealed carry purses. We have things with RFID, which is the radio frequency, where people now just walk up and steal your credit card stuff.
Yeah.
So you need security on the go. You need security at home. I stage my home, right? Because even though I have concealed carry, I'm pretty sure if someone breaks in my house, I'll be in the dining room and the gun's in the bedroom. So there's different things I put around my house, and there's all different kinds of products.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so if someone wanted to kind of see what those are, is it the same website?
Yep, the same website, stungun21.com, and you can see everything that we have.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Karen, thank you so much.
Thank you for
coming on with us. And Woody, you better watch out. I got some pepper spray over here. Probably 15 feet. I'm like,
and it'll dye you for 7 days.
It'll dye you for 7
Give me
days.
that table.
Why are you glowing?
Give me the table. That's right. You don't give me this table, I will pepper spray you. Anyway, no, thank you so much. And I think it's so important for people to realize, their surroundings and like you said, the situational awareness. And I'm glad that you have a product that you can bring to people that helps to showcase that. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
I feel like I've learned, I've learned a lot, even that little bit, because I walk out of stores and I'm just lollygagging to my car. I don't look at nothing. I just walk around.
I will say my family makes fun of me because my husband goes everywhere with me. Like if it's,
I don't make fun of you.
Yes,
I just say y'all spend a lot of time
you just
together.
think it's suspicious.
Yeah. Like they're like, why is he always gonna go with you? But like if I'm going to the store, like I'm leaving work and I'm coming home, like I coach volleyball, so like I come home late. I'm like, hey, I really gotta go to the store. He'll be like, well, just come to the house, pick me up, and I'll go with you. Because he doesn't like me going places, especially after dark. And so, I mean, no.
See, that's young love, though. Y'all be together. give it 10 years. She'll be like, you just stay at home. I got you. But no,
he always
I think it is sweet.
He always said they'll just return me.
Now your warranty
he said,
has
trust
expired.
me, they'll give you back. I promise.
You tell him warranty has expired at my house. I have to take you somewhere else. Maybe Woody let you sleep over here in the Grove.
But,
yeah.
One of my volleyball players, real quick, actually, they had homecoming this past weekend. And she told me that she actually got that nail polish that you can get where you dip it in your drink, and it shows you like if your drink has been like messed with. And she said she put it on. She said she put it on before homecoming because she went to a big party and she didn't know what was going to happen. So
that's smart.
Nothing ever happened, she said, but like every drink, she just stuck her finger in it real quick and made sure nothing was in it. And I was like, well, that's pretty smart.
Well, you never know. You never know. That's why I always tell you not to put your drink down and walk away and come back to it. Like if you're at a party or something like that. So, we could sit here and just talk about the different things all day long.
But we're not going to. But hello.
But we have a new guest that has ventured into the studio. And how are you, Danny?
I'm doing very well.
Good. So, Danielle Torres, right?
Yes.
So make sure I say it right. With Rustburg Massage has joined us. And so after you've gone and got your situational awareness and you're ready to go, and then you just need to relax a little bit, you can go get a massage with Danny. See, I try to strategically, what is it? The
plan.
Yeah, there you go. I need a massage. I'm here to tell you that. Did you bring me a massage? She brought me pepper spray. I did get a massage. But so we had I wanted Danielle, right?
We had Destiny.
Destiny came in a few weeks ago and was talking about the, her side of your business. And I'm glad you're able to come in today to talk about Rustburg Massage, because I know you guys do more than just massage, and we wanted to get that out today. So
yes, I wanted to come in and talk about a little bit about our vision and our mission, because it's not just massage.
Yeah.
We do nails now as well. We do manicures and pedicures. We do sculpted nails. I do a lot of fixing of errors from other technicians. But we're just not just that. We're here to promote Rustburg, as a whole. I work with a lot of vendors. everything in my shop, I'm trying to be local. All the scrubs, all the lotions are all made by local people. And it's all woman-owned businesses. And that's a big thing. We're trying to bring awareness that there are a lot of women out there, whether it's in their homes or if they have a place. We're all, we're trying to make it for our families. We're trying to make this work. It's, we ventured away from the family-owned businesses into corporate businesses, but it needs to come back to the local people.
And I'm seeing, you're right. There are a lot of women-owned businesses popping up today. And there's a lot of grants and things out there to help women-owned businesses that want to start up and do things like that. And I think what you're doing in giving them a place to kind of jumpstart their business is really important. And I kind of think that's a big thing for, businesses like yours and others that take in, what is the word I'm looking for? Like wholesale, like you take in some of their stuff and sell it out for people is really important, because you never know when that little bit of help is going to let them open their own shop later down the road.
Yeah, being a business owner is a hard job, especially as a mom, especially as a wife, especially as just an individual. It's not easy. People don't realize I don't just get up one day and walk into my shop and everything just functions. It's work. I've got to network. We've got to be part of a chain. We all work together. All my vendors are wonderful. I had a field trip come through us from the place at the mall. Their salon, because one of my vendors is the sister of the guy that runs that place. He brought students through. They came through and toured our spa. They looked at options. You don't have to work for other people. You can do it yourself, whether you're doing it out of your home or out of like what I'm doing. It's possible, but they have to start somewhere. Everybody's got to start somewhere.
Yep. And like Karen said, you have to have a plan. That's the biggest thing. You have to have a plan. You have to know what your goal is. I always talk to people about what is your why? Like, why are you doing it and where do you want to get to? And that I think is really, what you need to focus on when you're starting out. It's not about, I just want to make money. Because if you're in it to make money, then you might as well just sit back down. You're going to get there, eventually.
Right.
But it's a lot of hard work.
It is. And you want to build a good business, a good foundation, just like everything. You need to have good bones and good structure, because otherwise, you fold. A lot of first businesses, within the first 5 years, most of them have closed down.
That's correct.
And most of them go bankrupt because they don't have a good foundation. So we're here to bring that to Rustburg. We're here to bring it to Lynchburg. We offer a private spa. We offer private one-on-one consultations with people. We talk about everything. We look at your life. We want to be your friend as well as your massage therapist or your nail technician. We're not just here to make money. We're here to bring more to the area and the community than just what we offer.
And I love that that you keep mentioning how you're there to support Rustburg. And I know that, Rustburg is similar to Bedford in that it's a small town. Yes. People tend to forget about it because Lynchburg is there. I think Bedford is actually has a little bit more of advantage because it's in between two large cities. So people do come back and forth between Lynchburg and Roanoke, and they go, we can stop in Bedford. But I feel like, Rustburg is a little kind of off the path. You have to be going to Rustburg. You're not really just to go to Rustburg. Like, you're not just passing through Rustburg to go somewhere, else. So, I know we've talked to a few business owners down there that are looking, they're trying to get more of a push into that area. So I think for you opening up a business that kind of ties a whole lot of things in, it makes it kind of like a not really a destination spot, but kind of a one-stop shop for people there in that area is, it's really important. And, it's a great kind of tie-in to bring people there.
Yeah. And Rustburg is growing. We have Hill City Pharmacy. They're coming in.
I saw that the other day.
Yeah. They'll just be just down the road. So that's great. That's wonderful for us. Appomattox, Gladys, Brookneal, all those places that we're going to Lynchburg, now we're giving people something in Rustburg. It's the same thing with us. We fit bras with double delicates, lingerie. We do everything on that side. We have the massage. We now have nails in Rustburg. I've been slammed with nail appointments. Because there's just nothing else. We have to go to Lynchburg for anything. Appomattox is the other closest place. But again, we're leaving Rustburg and, our money is leaving Rustburg.
Exactly.
We need to keep our stuff in Rustburg. We're going to have to go to Lynchburg for things eventually. But, just like Bedford, we still need to have something staying local and supporting local.
And I think, you hit the nail on the head about keeping it in your local economy, because I also go by and I see they're building, they're doing a lot of construction, like the middle school I think is under some construction and
Oh, they
like
just
that.
built a brand new middle school.
Yeah, and so those are the things that your money goes back into, and I don't think people quite understand that. But when you're going in and you're supporting your local economy, then they're able to put that money into infrastructure and roads and things like that is needed, because you're actually giving back to someone in the town. You're not
giving back to yourselves
Yeah.
too. Your kids, your family, your friends. If the money goes outside, the money's going outside.
Mhm.
Everything that you said stays local. It's built local.
Mhm.
So we're here to support the community. We're here to support Rustburg. It's a big thing for us. We're getting there. We have a grocery store now. We have the post office. The pharmacy is coming in. We're getting there.
Yeah. Yeah, I hadn't. I'll be honest. I had not been in a while, and then when I was going through the other day, for volleyball, I noticed a lot of new things, and I was kind of like, "Oh, look at that! Oh, look, Hill City Pharmacy's coming!" And it was kind of like I was turning my head back and forth, like, "Oh, look what's coming here!" And I love to see growth, and I love to see the growth of a small town, because it's, I don't know, it's just it's beautiful to see. I live here in Bedford, and so I love to see when we have new businesses coming into Bedford, and I'm kind of like you. I hope and pray they're going to stay. I hope that's going to be something that sticks. I hope our shop makes it. How's it going? Autumn, you have to let us know when we get started up this week. We'll see if we're still here in 3 years, but no, I'm just kidding. But I think it's important too for those out there listening, to remind you to be supportive.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you may have to pay a little bit more, but it comes back to you. It's not going corporate. It's not going out of state. It's not going overseas.
Yeah, it's staying
right
here.
Right. So let's talk a little bit. So the massage piece of it. What type of massage do you guys? I mean, pretty much anything.
So I specialize in therapeutic.
Okay.
It's where most of my work comes from. I come from a lot of referrals from the PTs, from chiropractors, but I do everything.
Okay.
I do offer Swedish, which is your generic relaxation massage. We've got hot stones, we've got hot towels, we've got cupping, we've got aromatherapy. There's a lot of things. I cater to the client.
Mm-hmm.
I listen to what you want. I listen to what's going on with your body. We talk about posture. We talk about how you sleep. We talk about, your food, everything. Everything contributes to your body. It's a whole body approach. It's not just one thing. I have clients that come weekly. I have clients bi-weekly, monthly, every 6 months, however that works for them.
Mm-hmm.
I recommend once a month at least on a minimum, just like going to the gym, just like eating healthy. It's taking care of your body. You may not have problems now, but you're going to have problems in the future if you don't take care of it. You only have one body. Everybody's getting knee replacements now. Everybody's going and having, discs fixed. Everything. Surgery is invasive. It cuts up the tissue. It opens it up. Scar tissue, how everything's relayed. Sometimes people have more issues after the surgery than they had before the surgery.
Right.
We are looking at preventative care. It's coming back slowly. It used to be back, we had preventative care. Then it went into, just fix everything, cut everything out, change everything, put something new in, cadaver bones, etc. But now we're coming back to preventative care.
Mm-hmm.
We're looking at, let's take care of you for the years to come. Start seeing us now. We take care of you, make sure that you're healthy, make sure you're eating, doing all the things you do. I was working with a client today about stretching, about doing some yoga, about, taking care of his body. He's getting older. He owns a business. It's rough. And all those years of in his 20s and 30s of all those things he did, the sports, the activities, it's coming back to kick him in the ass now.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that for me, I used to go get a massage every now and then. And I feel like people tend to think, oh, massage is just like you do it every now and then when you have a little bit of extra cash. They don't look at it as being therapeutic, like something you need to have. They look at it as more of a frivolous, like, oh, I'm just going to go get a massage. But, I know for a fact, like a lot of times when I do go to some places that do those free, like chair massages, they'll like look at my back. They'll like just one like on my back and they'll go, oh my gosh, like you are like, cause I'm always tight. I'm stressed out and things like that. But I have gone and had a couple of the train apparently does not approve. But I've gone and had a couple of like the deep tissue massage because I'm one of those people. I don't like the light,
like foofy.
No, don't foofy. You better get up in there. I mean, I need you like, yeah. So
I'm completely opposite.
But I have felt so much better afterwards because I have like a lot of lower back pain and like they really get, and they'll be like, your muscle, they'll tell me like my muscles are frozen. Like there's some like, and they'll try and like work the blood and stuff to flow through them. And I do, you can honestly feel a difference in it once you had it done. Now I have still not been able to do where I go back every month. I need to start doing that. But you can, and maybe if I did, it would keep, you'd keep seeing that difference because it's definitely not something I guess you can just do once and walk away and be like, oh,
not.
Great. So
just like going to the gym, you got to keep doing it. You got to take care of your body. We talk about stretches. We talk about how you sleep. I talk about your mattress on your bed because you spend, 8 to 12 hours laying down. How you sit in the car, how you sit at your desk, what you do, the stretches, building in things every day. When I've been a massage therapist for 5 years now. Before this, I was a nurse. I have kids. My posture was terrible. It's still not great, but it's getting better. I started building things into my lifestyle, and I think that's the best option. It's not just nobody has 20 minutes anymore, to put aside every day to work out. I'd never have the same 20 minutes every day. So I started doing exercises throughout the day while I'm sitting at my desk, while I'm at working, while I'm doing stuff. As soon as I start to feel tension, I'm now building that stretching into my everyday life, and that's how everybody should be. We're not active anymore. We're sitting in one position all day, every day. We're putting on weight. Our joints our muscles have memory. They like what they've been doing every day. If you sit every day, they like when you sit every day. When you start exercising, it's more uncomfortable. When you start doing things you weren't doing, they don't like it. And so when they say stiffness or tightness or it's frozen, everything just kind of slows down, just like how we slow down. I don't like going to the gym and picking up heavy weights because guess what? I don't do that every day. It's the same thing with your body. Your muscles get used to certain, repetitions and they get stuck in those positions. Massage helps with circulation, pushes blood in and out, whether it's bad stuff, waste from the muscles, from the cells going out and new blood flow coming in. When things get comfortable, that slows down. It's like a traffic jam because nobody is conducting and moving the stuff through your body anymore.
Why do they have you drink the water like after?
It's a 50-50. Some people, they used to say it was to help with flushing out toxins.
Okay.
Just like when you do a detox. Now they're saying not as much. It's still good to drink the water. Okay. I think it's a good thing either way. But it was to help flush out the toxins because when you're pushing all this stuff out of the muscles, if it's just stagnant in the body, it can make you feel kind of like a muscle flu, like you don't feel good.
Okay.
And so we recommend you drink plenty of water afterwards to help everything move through because now stuff is moving, the circulation's increased, everything's moving out of the body. You want to get all the good stuff in and all the bad stuff out.
Okay.
And the best way to do that is by drinking water because you go to the bathroom.
Okay, that makes sense. I've always wondered that. Like I know they always hand it to me and say, make sure you drink this before you leave, but I never really had gotten a great reasoning behind it. I was like, I know water's healthy for you and all, but I felt that there was probably some reason behind it that I just wasn't sure what it was.
I think it also depends on what kind of massage. For relaxation, not so much because you're not getting deep in the muscles. It's relaxing everything. Deep tissue therapeutic cupping does bring up a lot. So cupping, you get marks on the skin, which was what they call like cupping kisses. It almost looks like a bruise.
So I know are you laughing at me? I know what she's laughing at. Oh,
I'm laughing because my aunt did that to my husband.
Yes,
with a pickle top, and he never will live it down.
It's called Rasha or something. I forget.
I don't know what she called it, but
she was a massage therapist for a long time. Yeah, and she learned this new technique. And it was with a pickle top, and you did
scraping.
It brought all the
so scraping's another technique.
It looked like I beat him, and he walked around all of his friends. You see what Autumn did to me? And I'm like, I did not do that. I promise.
No, I take full responsibility for my work.
Yeah.
But yes, the cups, they bring everything to the surface. So they say it penetrates up to about 4 inches. So I do a lot of cupping for people that are the area stagnant because everything's staggered. You've got different layers of muscle. You've got tissue, you've got tendons, you've got bones, you've got joints. When you dig deep, when you do the deep tissue, you're pushing down. The cupping is the opposite, pulls up, separates everything. You can pull the layers of tissue like up and away from each other, open up those areas so you can allow blood flow to go through. If there's an area that's not getting good blood flow, if it's not, things are not going in and coming out, the cupping can pull it up. It's a less invasive way of doing deep tissue. It's very much like deep tissue. We use it on patients that have respiratory issues. I have a son who has asthma. I cup him a lot. I don't cup him as long as I would an adult, but it opens up the bronchioles in the lungs because it goes deep and it can help, loosen phlegm. You cough like hell afterwards, but that's the body's way of releasing everything. There's a lot of different ways now we can do work. I don't like the no pain, no gain. So I don't do a lot of like deep work that involves pain because I just don't feel like it's beneficial. When your body is in pain, it tenses up. Just like if you're about to get hit, you tense. That when you do work like that over it and the person on the table is like, oh my God, it's coming, I'm tensing, you can do more damage to the tissue.
Okay, well, so yeah, then I've had a couple of people like they'll tell me like this is getting ready to hurt,
right?
And like, and I feel myself tense up, and
yeah, it's a safety technique for your body. I'm about to get hurt. I'm going to tense up. I'm going to protect myself.
But it's not working as well as it should.
So the therapist needs to get you to relax.
See, that's why I don't get massages.
Massages?
Yeah, there you go. That's the word. Because I just don't like the pain that comes involved with massages.
Yeah.
I don't do chiropractic at all.
Oh,
Don't like my bones to be popped.
Oh, I love a good chiropractor.
My husband, on the other hand, he definitely needs a massage. I can't even touch his back. Like I can't even. Like it's so tight.
See, and look, I'm not mocking any of the therapists that there's pain. Some people, they need that. They want that. That's what they want. But they are able to relax through it. If you're a person that doesn't like to relax through pain, then that's not for you.
I'm a baby.
But I think there has to be trust too.
Yeah,
right.
I had a horrible experience during my military career with a chiropractor. So I have herniated discs in 5 and 6. So for me to trust you because you want to turn my neck, I've got to trust you.
Yeah.
And so same thing. If I'm going to tense up because I don't trust you.
Yeah,
I love how you connect with your
exactly.
client. Yes.
And it's all about a connection with your clients, knowing what they want, what they need. Yeah. Everybody wants something different. I can't do a generic massage because everybody's body is different. Your structure is different. What may be normal to you is not normal to somebody else. I don't like forcing, when we went through massage school, they look at the anatomy, of the body. Like, this is what the body's supposed to look like. That's great. But my hips are not straight. My shoulders are not straight because I'm not that map.
Right.
I have to come to you where you are. I work with your body. I'm a smart therapist as well, which is spontaneous muscle release technique. Miss Dawn, she teaches it. She's out of Colorado. She's got great, but we work with the body. We work with what your body is doing. We don't force your body to go in the direction I want it. I work with it to allow it to release because it relaxes when you're going with it against and not against it, because that your body naturally wants to tense up and say no. That's why like when you're exercising, you can only go so far. When you're stretching, you can only go so far. It's to stop you from hurting yourself. Well, it's the same thing with the person on my table. If I don't have a relationship with them, if they're not comfortable with me and they're not comfortable with my work, they're going to tense up, and I'm going to be fighting their body the entire time, and that's unpleasant for me and for you. So it's all about working with everybody where they are, and like I said, I just don't like the pain thing just because of that reason. People tense up and then I'm fighting you. You can do micro tears in the muscle, which can end up being a bigger problem.
Right.
Most people that end up hurting themselves, it's because they're like, oh, well, everything was fine. And then one day I turned and now I'm here. I can't move.
Well, that also, I think, too, if they feel like what you're doing is hurting them more than helping, like that's when you start to get about, well, I'm never going back to her because she hurt me, when, in reality, part of that was helping the muscles, but they didn't realize it. And then, walking them kind of through what they're doing, I think, is going to be more beneficial to you.
Yeah, and that was our plan with this place, was to be very personal, on a personal level with everybody that comes through the door. I meet every client where they are when they come in my door. We work with them, whether it's you're on a financial budget. I understand everybody's money's tight. This, like you said, a lot of people see this as a extra, not as an everyday thing. I buy food every day. I don't go and get a massage every day. My body needs the work. But I meet everybody, and I have different packages for different people. I tell everybody, if you have a question or you have concerns about cost, about all this stuff, talk to me. I'm happy to work with everybody. I do. I have a lot of clients that come in when they can. I have a lot of clients. I have different packages. I do offer ortho package, and I offer different packages for people that have to come in more regularly. Some of my new clients come in 3-4 times in the first month to get you on a schedule, to get your body where we need it. We accelerate this, the healing process. And then once you get on a schedule, then you're every month. So I think a lot of people are scared just by the price. They're scared that, if I come, I can't come next month. It's not, what's the point of me going once if I'm not going to keep going because I can't afford it?
Right.
So we try and make this, available to everybody. So I do work with people on the price. I work with people on what they need. If you can only do 30 minutes once a week, we work with you. We'll make it work. I'll give you work. I give you homework to take home. I want you to get better. I understand that kind of defeats the purpose of my job, if people are better. But, the thing is, people come back.
Right.
When we're on a good path, that monthly one is then enjoyable because you're coming because we're taking care of you.
Well, not just that, but they refer you.
Right.
To other people. If you've helped them get to where they are and they're feeling good, and then they're more apt to go, oh, I have a friend who needs this too, and tell them Danielle did a great job.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I work almost completely on word of mouth. I don't really advertise at all. A lot of people, like you said, someone, they did a wonderful job and they're going to come see me. I've got, now that I'm doing nails, we do spa treatments, we have the sauna. There's lots of things that come in. And again, once we get you into a comfortable position where you're happy and you're taking care of yourself at home and the pain is gone, then it's fun. Then you're coming in to relax, and you can do hot towels, and you can do a body scrub, and you can go lay in the sauna and take a nap, and we have the quiet room, and you can add on 10 minutes in the quiet room. So then it just becomes enjoyable on top of taking care of your body.
Do you serve lunch? I'd like to come and stay.
We do
all
actually.
day.
Yeah, I was about to say, don't y'all bring in some stuff?
So
Yeah.
we have a kitchen
Girl.
now, and we have our little area set up. There's a TV in there. There's music. There's a refrigerator. We work with Courthouse Cafe. We work with the Lunchbox. If you want something, we have the menus.
Is so good.
And we have the Chinese place too. We have Long Mountain Grill. We have the Italian place. And we will bring the food down to you. Just order what you need. We can add it in. Yeah, you could spend the whole day with us.
Oh, that's awesome. Now, where are you located at in Rustburg?
So we're on 501, which is Campbell Highway. We're right behind Red Door Realty.
Okay.
So as you come in the little train bridge,
Yep.
like the bridge, we're the first building on the right-hand side coming into Rustburg, and the last one on the left-hand side leaving Rustburg before you get to the trestle.
Yes. Okay. Yep. I know exactly where that
Oh,
is.
and we're going to have Wandering Donuts in our parking lot on Wednesday mornings.
Oh, fun.
Yes.
I love Wandering Donut. Their chocolate is my favorite. I like when they do the maple bacon.
Oh, maple bacon.
I'll start going down a rabbit hole if you get me talking about donuts.
But yes,
this whole show will
like
turn
I
into
said,
something
we're
else.
all about promoting local businesses. So the more people we help, the more people that we come in. I have got tons of new vendors coming in, new products. We're doing candles. We have jewelry. All of our stuff's made locally. My 13-year-old makes a lot of the jewelry that's in my store right now. And we do vintage jewelry. We have spa products. Everything is locally sourced. And I advertise all these people. Everything on the shelf has their label on it. I don't take their labels off and relabel it like under my stuff. Everything comes from each vendor. I have all the information. I put all their business cards on the refrigerator. It's all there. I'm here to support the community. I'm not here about taking money for myself. Yes, it's great. My clients can come in and be like, oh, I love that lotion you use. I love how it smells. I recommend them. I use stuff from the Lavender Farm. I use stuff. I've got a new vendor coming in Monday who makes beautiful little soy candles. They smell nice. They're, good for the environment. But she's a mom. She works this is her side hustle, making a little extra money to pay for stuff for the kids. We all know what it's like. I feel like constantly I'm handing money left, right, and center, violin lessons, piano lessons. Someone needs a field trip, something.
Yeah.
So I want, like you said, I want to help these businesses, whether it's just a side hustle or whether they're looking at doing this, on a bigger scale. I help them. I talk to them about insurance. I speak to them about, what's good, what's not with business, and I show them what I'm doing. And I give them a head start.
So now, if someone wants to make an appointment,
yes,
whether it's for massage or nails or any of the other services you have, how can they? What's the number they can call?
It's 434-665-0771.
Okay,
that's a cell phone number. It's my work number. I typically won't answer it after 5, before 7, unless it's an emergency. Most people text me if it's an emergency. When I say emergency, I've got clients who have gone through surgery. Something happens, they fall, they hit themselves the wrong way, and they're in pain. They can't walk. I tell everybody, call me first. If I don't answer, send me a text message. I usually will check it. I just don't always answer it because, of course, I have a personal life. I have kids. I have other things.
I need to use that technique.
But I'm always available, and I will peek at it and see. If you say it's urgent, I will call you back. We will talk. If not, if it can wait till next business day or the next day I'm in the shop, I'll get back to you as soon as possible.
Okay.
If not, you can go on to rustburgmassage.com. We have a whole website. I'm updating that continuously. There's always new stuff. There's a vendor page in there for any vendors. If anybody's out there looking for somewhere to put their product, I sell everything and anything from food to I have eggs coming in from local places. We do a pickup at our store, candles, spa stuff, you name it, we got it. It's all about whatever people need and want. And that stuff, again, changes seasonally depending on what's going on. Summertime, we do produce. Wintertime, I haven't quite got to winter yet, but it'll probably be, bath bombs and, the thicker lotions for dry skin, scrubs, especially now with wintertime, people's heels crack. We have other issues like that. So we carry more product in that range, maybe cake pops. Our hot chocolate bombs were a hit last year.
Right.
They're the little, chocolate outside with the everything inside. You just put them in hot water or hot milk, and they melt and they pop open, and there's your hot chocolate or your everything is already in there. You don't have to do nothing. So those were a hit last year. So we're changing continuously. So I tell people all the time, check in. Go to Facebook on and go our Rustburg page. Go get on there. I do a lot of announcements on there. We have a newsletter too that goes out periodically when I get a chance to write it, which lately has not been a high priority. But I try and keep people updated. But I always say pop in. I'm there Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays most of the day. If I'm not there, Destiny's there, and she's happy to chat with you. But we always welcome guests. Come by and visit.
Okay. Perfect.
We're open. Yes, we're private, but we're also open to the public. And we love when people stop by and and chat. We have like I said, we have the kitchen. We have a coffee machine in there. We have tea. We have drinks in the fridge. We always have snacks. Come by and visit.
Okay. Well, Karen, Danny, thank you so much for coming on with us today. Thank you to everyone who listened in to Talk Local to Me, or if you've watched our first ever, live stream. Is that right, Woody? Live stream show. So make sure you've downloaded the Grove Street FM app. Or you can still go to grovestreet.fm and subscribe and listen to any of the other episodes if you feel like the app is suspicious. But thank you.
Not.
I'm just kidding. So thank you so much for tuning in, and we will talk local to you again next Wednesday.